ආයුබෝවන් ඔබට ආයුබෝවන් මනුෂ්‍යත්වයේ දිවයිනට මිහිරි සාමයේ නාමයෙන් පිවිසි ඔබට ආයුබෝවන් මිහිතලයේ සියලු ආගම් ශාස්ත්‍රවරුන්ගේ ආශිර්වාදයෙන් මෙරුණෝදේ ඔබට ශාන්තියක්ම වේවා එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ අධ්‍යාපනික විද්‍යාත්මක හා සංස්කෘතික සංවිධානය ලොව පරසිදු යුනෙස්කෝව විවිධ ආගමික ඉගැන්වීම් සහ සංස්කෘතින්ගේ එකමුතුවෙන් ලෝක සාමය ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමින් රටවල් රැසක 600කට අධික විදේශ නියෝජිතයන්ගේ දැවැන්ත සහභාගීත්වයකින් නොවැම්බර් 3 වනදා සිට 9 වනදා දක්වා සාමය දිනු මේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා රන්දෙරණේ පවත්වන සාමය සඳහා වන අන්තර් ආගමික හා සංස්කෘතික ජාත්‍යන්තර සම්මන්ත්‍රණයේ සමාරම්භක අවස්ථාවයි ශ්‍රී ලංකා රාජ්‍ය නායකයන්ගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් මේ ආරම්භෙන්නේ තායිවානයේ ප්‍රධාන සංඝනායක ජාත්‍යන්තර ආගමික හා සංස්කෘතික කටයුතු පිළිබඳ ජනාධිපති උපදේශක ලෝක බෞද්ධ සම්මේලනයේ සමාජ සේවාංශයේ ගරු සභාපති ආචාර්ය පූජ්‍යපාද බෝධාගම චන්දිම නාහිමියන්ගේ සම්බන්ධීකරණයෙන් අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ පූර්ණ ආශිර්වාදයෙන් මානෙල්වත්ත ජාත්‍යන්තර බෞද්ධ අධ්‍යයන ආයතනය ජනාධිපති කාර්යාලය බුද්ධ ශාසන හා ආගමික කටයුතු අමාත්‍යාංශය විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍යාංශය සහ රාජ්‍යාරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යාංශය ලෝක අවධානය ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට යොමු කරන මේ දැවැන්ත ජාත්‍යන්තර සම්මන්ත්‍රණය යුනෙස්කෝ සමග අත්වැල් බැඳ ගනිමින් සංවිධාන කරනවා.
Venerable Maha Sangha and all religious dignitaries, His Excellency the President, Mahinda Rajapaksa, distinguished guests from abroad, and Sri Lanka, ladies and gentlemen. We gathered here this morning for the inaugural ceremony of a vital international conference titled Intercultural and Interfaith Peace Dialogue. The main objective of the conference is to ascertain ways and means of achieving world peace. Teachings of different religions and philosophies, as well as different cultural backgrounds, will play a prominent role in the discussions and deliberations during the conference. The first session will be held tomorrow at Manilwatta Mahaviharaya, Kalaniya.
දැවැන්ත ජාත්‍යන්තර සම්මන්ත්‍රණ සුලභ දේශයක් බවට පත් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට තවත් ජාත්‍යන්තර ජවයක් එක් කරන මේ ගෞරවනීය අවස්ථාවට සැපැමිණි සැම පිළිගැනීමට ගෞරවනීය ආරාධනය ජනාධිපති ලේකම් ලලිත් වීරතුංග මැතිතුමාට.
Now it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Lalit Veeratunga, the Secretary to His Excellency the President, to extend a warm welcome to everybody present here.
Your Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa, the President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, the chief guest this morning, the Venerable Professor Chinkung Nayaka Thera, and the most respected Venerable members of the Maha Sangha, respected clergy of the Hindu, Muslim, Christian and Catholic faiths, Dr. Kathleen Bourget, President of the General Conference of UNESCO, ambassadors and delegates of UNESCO, welcome to Sri Lanka. Honorable ministers, honorable governors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Ayubowan, may you have long life. I am indeed privileged to be able to welcome such a distinguished gathering to Temple Trees, the official residence of His Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa, the President of Sri Lanka. The holding of this international, interreligious, and cultural conference on peace with a theme overcoming crisis through education is indeed a momentous occasion for all of us, particularly because we value peace after having gone through very difficult times. Let me therefore firstly say how grateful we are, Your Excellency, for sparing your time to be with us amidst a very busy, a tight schedule. You were kind enough to consent to be here with us, share your thoughts, and of course, enlighten all of us through your thoughts. Thank you so much for being here. I must welcome, most respectfully, Venerable Professor Chinkung Nayakatero, a Buddhist dignitary who has a large following in the world. We also thank you for your support for this conference. I'm indeed encouraged, and I certainly welcome with great respect, great warmth, the venerable members of the Mahasangha. I also welcome the dignitaries of all other religious faiths, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, and Catholic faiths. I'm particularly pleased to welcome Madam Dr. Kathleen Bourguet, President of the General Conference of UNESCO, and thank you for all the support you have given to us. UNESCO has been an organization which has been very close to Sri Lanka, particularly because Sri Lanka enjoys a very high literacy of over 95% due to commitments of successive governments. We place great value in ensuring that our culture, our traditions, through education is maintained at all times. So thank you so much for being here with your husband. Welcome. One doesn't get an opportunity often to welcome such a large gathering of ambassadors. Certainly, this being an international conference, I'm so glad that we have a large number of ambassadors from countries that have had very close bilateral relations with Sri Lanka for over a long period of time. Welcome to Sri Lanka. Thank you so much, Your Excellencies, for being here. I'm indeed privileged to welcome our own ministers, the Minister of Education, Honorable Bandulu Gunawardena, who has a great link with the UNESCO, Education Ministry being the local organization to liaise with UNESCO. They have had a great relationship with you, Madam, with the UNESCO. So welcome, Honorable Minister. Honorable Acting Minister for Buddha Sasana, Honorable MKDS Gunawardena, your ministry has given us great support to have this conference. Thank you for your presence. And of course, Honorable Minister for National Heritage, Dr. Balasuriya, welcome to this conference. I also welcome the Honorable Governor of the Western Province, Honorable Alavi Maulana. Your presence is great encouragement to us. I welcome a large number of distinguished invitees whose names I'm sure if I'm to mention will take a long period of time. I don't want to do that, but I welcome you very warmly to Temple Trees for this great moment. Thank you for your presence. It is my great privilege to welcome all the foreign visitors to Sri Lanka. I hope you will have a very pleasant stay here. We have been able to eradicate terrorism and bring a land of peace so that anyone from anywhere in the world will feel very safe, much safer than many places in the rest of the world. So welcome. I hope you will enjoy the beauty of this country. After a 3-decade war against terrorism, which has been very painful, from May 2009, all Sri Lankans are enjoying a freedom that they are rightfully entitled to. We as a peace-loving nation, headed by a great leader, His Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa, who was instrumental in bringing peace to this country, We value these conferences, particularly because it promotes interreligious harmony among all peoples, which also gives prominence to the value of education. The fact that we bring peace through education is all the more important. Although terrorism almost divided this peace-loving nation, we have never had enmity among different religions. Sri Lanka has been home to the 4 major religions: Buddhism, Hinduism, Catholicism, and Christianity, as well as Islam. There has never been an instance where there has been any enmity between any of the 2 religions. So it has been a very harmonious relationship. And since it has been our tradition and culture to have resilience and tolerance, I guess having this conference in this country is a great, significant event for all of us. The government has extended all its support, and with the presence of His Excellency the President, I am sure this conference is elevated to a very high level in the calendar of events that we have throughout the year. Sri Lanka is today becoming a conference destination. I'm very glad to say this. People not only find the facilities, the support from the government encouraging, but also they find Sri Lanka as a whole a country to visit, to enjoy, and certainly to feel the warmth and the hospitality of the Sri Lankans wherever you go, whether it is Colombo or outside. And I'm sure particularly our distinguished visitors from abroad will have the opportunity to visit some of our very important former capitals. And I'm sure you will see the splendor, the heritage that Sri Lanka is heirs to. So once again, whilst welcoming you to this beautiful country of ours, a country that has great tolerance, resilience, and a country that look forward to disseminating the message of peace throughout the world, let me say how glad we are, and I'm saying this on behalf of His Excellency the President and the government of Sri Lanka, that may your conference be very successful, and may those outcomes change our lives for the better, and that you will leave behind a great set of outcomes that we are sure we would be able to practically follow. So once again, thank you so much for visiting Sri Lanka, and all the very best, and Ayubowan.
දැන් අපේ ගෞරවනීය සුවිශේෂ ආරාධනය ලෝක සාමය පතා රටවල් ගණනාවක පැවැත් වූ මේ සුවිශාල සම්මන්ත්‍රණයට සියලු ආගම්වලට ගරු කරන ශ්‍රී ලංකාව තෝරාගත් එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ අධ්‍යාපනික විද්‍යාත්මක හා සංස්කෘතික සංවිධානයේ සම්මන්ත්‍රණ අංශයේ ගරු සභාපතිතුමිය කැත්ලින් බෝග්යයි මැතිනියට
The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, better known as UNESCO, has joined hands with the organizers of this conference, which is attended by over 600 participants from about 26 different countries. UNESCO has been involved in organizing similar conferences in a number of other countries in the past. Whilst acknowledging the presence of UNESCO ambassadors of Hungary, UAE, and Senegal, I have pleasure in inviting Dr. Kathleen Bogyai, the President of the UNESCO General Conference, to address this distinguished gathering.
Your Excellencies, dear friends, good morning. We have just arrived from Paris. We didn't sleep a minute, and we are so very much looking forward to being with you during this very week. I would like to welcome, on behalf of UNESCO General Conference as the president. Of course, I have the honor to represent 195 members of UNESCO, the president of Sri Lanka. I'm very happy to welcome our old friend, Master Ching Kung, whom we had the chance to meet already in a very unique conference in Bangkok, when we already started to talk about intercultural and interfaith dialogue. Let me welcome the Venerable Chandimanayako Tero, who was very much sort of orchestrating this trip for all of us, and of course, the Secretary of the President for the invitation. And it's a great honor and privilege for me to welcome the Cabinet Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. As the President of the General Conference of UNESCO, it is indeed a profound honor for me to address such a noble assembly. It is remarkable that this event is hosted by His Excellency the President of Sri Lanka, which attests to his commitment to promote interfaith dialogue and to celebrate cultural plurality of the Sri Lankan people. I am delighted to see so many cultures and traditions represented here by all of us, including my very dear colleagues, the ambassadors of more than 20 different countries to UNESCO. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for inviting us. When I got this invitation, I was thinking and hoping that I could invite ambassadors who will have memories and experiences to share with you. Because we all have our stories to tell. We all went through wars, civil wars, political and social transformations. We all had to learn reconciliation. We all had to learn to forgive. I really would like to introduce the ambassadors, because you see, we are here representing UNESCO, and actually here is a little UNESCO, which I hope will be very much part of your brainstorming. I'm very happy to welcome the ambassadors from Albania, Benin, Congo, Croatia, the Holy See, Indonesia, the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, Madagascar, Montenegro, the Netherlands, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Norway, Oman, Senegal, Serbia, Sudan, the United Arab Emirates, and my two very dear colleagues who are from Cambodia and Georgia. So the whole world is here with you. Thank you very much for coming. Our deliberations on peace and ways to foster it will remain abstract, musing if we don't apply them to the real life, to the real situations and people on the ground, if we don't try to make a real difference. That is why Sri Lanka is such an interesting country for holding this gathering of minds, a beautiful island of rich religions and traditions and cultures. And at the same time, a country whose people have in the recent decades seen the wars of phases of civil strife. The diversity of this country is truly amazing and contains powerful positive energy. It is in this richness of human experiences that we will find tremendous indigenous knowledge about how to live together in peace and harmony. That would be really my first point I would like to stress in front of you today, that societies have a tremendous indigenous knowledge and vast cultural resources. Let us call it cultural know-how, to give them towards peaceful coexistence. Sometimes we forget that despite the periods of conflicts, people have lived together for ages, mixing with and learning from each other, exchanging views, experiences, adopting various elements of others' cultures. On this island, people of different ethnic, cultural, and religious background have coexisted for many millennia, cross-fertilizing each other's traditions and contributing to the overall harmony. Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, and many other faiths have flourished in this country. And the adherents of these faiths have learned to respect others and find peaceful modalities of living together. We need to tap into people's time-tested knowledge of how to share social and cultural spaces in peace and mutual respect. The task before us is to identify those cultural phenomena that have historically glued the communities of different backgrounds together in harmonious coexistence. For me, these cultural unifying factors can be found in literature, oral and written traditions, artistic expressions, sites of common cultural heritage, dances and music, even the examples of gastronomy. Understanding the indigenous forces and processes that promote tolerance, mutual acceptance, and cooperation is the first step towards relearning how to focus on these positive factors. This is especially relevant in places where peace had broken down and conflict has shifted focus away from cooperation and towards division or hatred. Therefore, I come to the second point that I want to highlight today, which is the importance of culture in building sustainable peace. It is through culture that we give meaning to our lives and develop a sense of who we are. Culture is a source of identity, belonging, citizenship, and participation. It can become a driving force in facilitating social cohesion. And because culture is a source of universal values shared by all, it can only be enjoyed under the conditions of mutual respect and acceptance of diversity. Fully appreciating one's own cultural background is possible only after understanding and respecting the diversity of other cultures and celebrating the richness of our common cultural heritage. In other words, we need to learn about each other and from each other. And here I come to the third point of my intervention, which concerns the power of learning. Such ideals and values as compassion, hospitality, fraternity, solidarity are to a large extent learned through education and life experiences. Peaceful transformation begins with one's self and involves learning about yourself and learning about the others. Buddha teaches us the power of peaceful transformation in people's through and within their consciousness. Quote, "What we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday, and our present thoughts build our life of tomorrow. Our life is the creation of our mind. We have to learn thinking positively. We have to learn acting ethically. And we have to learn living together peacefully. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, UNESCO is the child of ideals, the ideals of lasting peace between all peoples of the world, the ideals that arose as humanity's response to the real horrors of war. UNESCO is based on the belief that lasting peace is possible despite the heavy burden of violent past, but it must be grounded on the transformation of people's mind by building defenses of peace in them. Today's audience include my friends, the ambassadors, as I told you, who are coming from different parts of the world and who will be sharing their experiences in the coming days. We will be talking about how can we use the cultural diversity and religious plurality for reinforcing peace and stability. At UNESCO, we know that peace and international dialogue go hand in hand. It is directly stated in our Constitution that a peace based exclusively upon the political and economic arrangements of governments would not be a peace which could secure the unanimous, lasting, and sincere support of the peoples of the world, and that the peace must therefore be founded, if it is not to fail, upon the intellectual and moral solidarity of mankind. And the intellectual and moral solidarity of mankind, of course, can only occur when we start to respect, even celebrate, our cultural diversity. Multi-faith dialogue is an essential path towards the intellectual and moral solidarity of humankind. Your Excellency, the President of Sri Lanka, the great people of Sri Lanka have made a fundamental contribution towards civilization and have significantly enriched the common heritage of humankind. 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in your country, along with thousands of other incredible religious and historical monuments, attest the richness and diversity of your nation. Sri Lanka has been the birthplace of people and ideas that have shaped world religions and their practices. I'm confident that it will be a place of generating the ideas of peace, ideas of living together for the people of Sri Lanka and the entire world. On behalf of the entire group of ambassadors of UNESCO, I would like to thank you for inviting us and giving this opportunity to see your beautiful country and to take part in the interfaith and intercultural dialogue. Thank you very much.
හොංකොං දේශයේ සිට 24 පැය පුරා ලොවටම විකාශය කෙරෙන ධර්ම ප්‍රචාරයටම කැප වූ සුප්‍රකට හුවාෂන් චන්ද්‍රිකා රූපවාහිනී සේවාවේ නිර්මාතෘවරයාණන් වහන්සේ ඔබ වහන්සේ විවිධ ආගමික ඉගැන්වීම් සහ සංස්කෘතීන්ගේ දයාබරිත එකමුතුවෙන් ලෝක සාමය පතා පවත්වන මේ සුවිශේෂ සම්මන්ත්‍රණයට ඔබ වහන්සේ දැවැන්ත ශක්තියක්. චීන ජාතික මහාචාර්ය අතිපූජනීය චිංකුන් නායක ස්වාමින්ද්‍රයන් වහන්ස ඔබ වහන්සේගේ සුවිශේෂ දේශනයට නමස්කාර පූර්වක ආරාධනය.
Amongst this very large gathering, there is Venerable Professor Chinkung Naikatero of China, who is the chief incumbent of a large number of temples and social centers in many different parts of the world. Venerable Professor Chinkung Naikatero is the founder of Huazan satellite TV channel, which telecasts Dhamma programs both day and night, 24 hours. At the age of 86, Venerable Professor Chinkung still delivers sermons via this TV channel. We consider it a deep honor to have him with us at this ceremony. Whilst wishing him long life, I most respectfully and very humbly invite Venerable Professor Chinkung Naikatero to address this distinguished gathering.
尊敬的总统先生，尊敬的教科文组织的朋友们，诸位法师，诸位大德，诸位同学们，大家早晨好啊！这一次承蒙总统的邀请，让我有这个机会到斯里兰卡来访问、来学习，我觉得非常的荣幸，尤其是在此地看到我们教科文组织的许多大使、许多朋友，那么聚会在一堂，讨论如何团结宗教，回归教育，来化解问题，这些年来，我们为这桩事情都很尽心尽力、努力的在做。我参加联合国的会议有很多次，我们是代表澳洲的大学，以这个身份来参与。在这会中，我们将中国古时候传统的智慧、理念、方法、经验，向会友们做报告。会后，同学们给我说：“法师，你讲得很好，这些都是理想不能够落实。”我听到这些话，让我深深感觉到，今天的危机那个核心就是我们丧失了信心。真正的危机是信心。 那信心如何建立呢？只有用事实去做证明。所以我们在05年的11月，在中国安徽省汤池小镇办了一个传统文化一个班，建立一个中心，传统文化学习中心，做一个实验。没有想到这个实验呢，居然做成功了。不到4个月，3个多月，这个小镇的人心呢都改变了，让我们感到非常惊讶，证明了中国过去祖先所说的人性本善。在中国古时候同盟教学课本里头就是人之初性本善。第二个呢，证明呢人是很好教的，这就是没有人教如果人有教很好教证明这2点。那么过了2个月，联合国教科文组织邀请我在巴黎办一个活动。我说这个是天意有这么好的一个机会，向联合国做详细报告我们将汤池小镇的成就做了8个小时的报告，做了3天的展览做得很成功当时秘书长告诉泰国大使说，教科文组织成立60周年，办过很多活动以我们这次活动内容最丰富，秩序最好是他们没有想象到的在这个我参加这个活动，很多人问我，你为什么参加这个活动？我说为2桩事情第一个呢，我可以告诉大家，宗教是可以团结的我在90年、99年这个2000年，我住在新加坡，将新加坡9个宗教团结成一家人，像兄弟姐妹一样我邀请他们到教科文组织总部为世界和平做祈祷做得很成功。第2桩事情呢，就是汤池的经验，人民是教得好的，我们应该认真努力把宗教回归到教育。现在社会问题出在哪里呢？有许多人问过我回答的是，真正的问题就是出在教育。东方把圣贤教育收获了，西方呢把宗教教育收获了。所以今天教育只是科学技术教人怎样发明机器、使用机器，没有教他做人的道理所以中国古人有一句话说，子不教人心坏了。父母没有把小孩教好人心坏了。人不学，社会乱了真正原因呢就在此地中国是 一个很古老的国家，它的文化沉传至少有1万多年。那个时候，中国没有发明文字，中国发明文字到现在大概是4500年。4500年之前，不能说没有文化。那么中国自古教人叫什么？可以说，总的来说呢，就是叫孝、叫敬，孝亲、尊老、尊贤，它是这个教育。所以从这个教育延伸出来，五伦，五伦是人与人的关系，从父子有亲这种亲爱的精神，所以它是爱的教育，真诚爱的教育。那么这个教育，我们能够从现在还能看到。你看婴儿生下来3、4个月，我们细心去观察父母对儿女的关心照顾，无微不至啊。小孩虽然不会说话，虽然不会说话了，你看他的表情，他对父母的爱自然流露出来。这个没有人教的，这是天性，这是天真的爱，这就是自信里面发出的爱，也是我们所说的神圣之爱。佛法告诉我们，这是讲佛家的伦理，告诉我们整个宇宙跟我们是一体，一体才能产生出本性的爱，真诚的爱。以这个爱心把它扩展广大，爱父母，爱家族，爱社会，爱族群，爱国家，爱社会，爱人群，爱不会再伤害别人，所以它是个爱的教育，是个从自信里面流露出来的真诚爱心的教育，就是宗教里头所说的神爱世人。所以中国传统文化呢，讲五伦，五伦讲关系，讲五常，讲四维，讲八德，实际上就这4个科目，在中国这一片大地教学了1万多年，世世代代承传，但是中国人把自己传统疏忽了200年了，200年的时间不是很长，但是也不很短，所以现在中国人对自己的传统文化非常陌生，你问他们，他自己不知道，他父母也不知道，祖父母也不知道，乃至于曾祖父母、高祖父母可能知道一些，这就是恢复很难，不是不能恢复，是一桩难事，难能可贵，我们可以能做得到的。我今天第一次到斯里兰卡来访问，斯里兰卡古代是佛国，释迦牟尼佛曾经3次到过这个地方，在这个地方讲经教学，这是佛陀的故乡，虽然经历了30多年内战的灾难，这个灾难 总统把它化解了，带向了和平，这非常之可贵，经历了战争的痛苦，才意识到安定和平的可贵。总统有许多的事实，都是佛陀的意思，都是真诚的爱心，特别是教育，我们要好好的在这个地方向斯里兰卡学习，向总统学习。第一个，教学非常认真，落实了佛陀的文化。可是，在今天要推广教育，光是说，没有人相信，就跟我在联合国遇到这个困难，必须做出实验，大家就相信。所以汤池小镇虽然只有3年，影响很大，在中国国内引起影响，在国际上呢也产生很大的影响。所以我常常想到，在今年5月间，我在这个曼谷，跟我们联合国朋友们，在那边见面，他们还念念不忘我06年在巴黎办的活动，希望我能再去办一次。我是跟大家讲，上一次有汤池小镇这个实验，可以给大家来分享。那现在办呢，我们有东西拿出来了，那么正好在这个时候，我们澳洲宗教团给我一个信息，他们团结起来，在澳洲图文巴把这个小城要打造成一个世界第一个多元文化和谐示范城市，这非常有意义。图文巴居民大概是10万人，有80多个族群，100多种不同的语言，这么多人居住在一起，像兄弟姐妹一样，互相尊重，互相关怀，互相照顾，互助合作，是我们每一个人想看到的和谐社会。我说好，你们认真努力做，1年做成功了，我说我们会找联合国，我们再办一次，把这个好事介绍给全世界。当然，更期望的呢是有一个国家能够做成一个全世界和谐示范国，就带动了全世界了。5月我在曼谷就想把这桩事情跟太皇建议，没想到我们去的时候，太皇身体不好，我们没有见到面，皇后代表接见了我们，所以今天我到这里来看，斯里兰卡的基础比泰国还殊胜，我们到此地来跟总统建议，给这边我们许许多多朋友们特别是佛教跟其他宗教，我们联合起来，斯里兰卡这个国家能够建成世界宗教族群和谐示范的一个榜样，就能带动全世界，这是非常有意义的 一桩大事情。好，那么我们还会有长一点的时间呢，我做一个详细报告，也有文字部分，请大家多多指教。是我们全同心同德协力了，在世界上建一个示范点。去年我在梵蒂冈也把这个事情给教宗探讨，教宗也很赞成，但是恐怕不太容易做到。我想我到这边来，看总统年轻教宗跟我同年，今年86岁了，他身体不如我，所以心有余而力不足，那么我们相信斯里兰卡呢一定能够做得出来，能够做得好，给世界带来和谐的光明。那么后面还有很多朋友他们要说话，我在此的就少说几句我谢谢大家，我们的谢谢。
ඒ සුවිශේෂ ගෞරවනීය දේශනෙන් අනතුරුව අප තවත් ඉතාම සුවිශේෂ අදහස් දැක්වීමකට යොමු වන්නේ. සියලු ජාතීන්ට සියලු ආගමිකයන්ට අහිමිව තිබූ මිහිරි සාමය දිනාදී ඉන්දු සයුරේ ලවණ රසමුසු ජලතලය මත ආසියාවේ ආශ්චර්ය ගොඩනගන ලක්පොළව ජගත් පරසිදු කේන්ද්‍රස්ථානයක් ලෙස ඔසවා තැබූ ශ්‍රී ලංකා ප්‍රජාතාන්ත්‍රික සමාජවාදී ජනරජයේ අධිෂ්ඨානශීලී රාජ්‍ය නායකයාණනි, අතිගරු ජනාධිපති මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමනි, ඔබතුමන්ටයි මේ ජාත්‍යන්තර සමුළුව ඇමතීමට ගෞරවනීය ඇරයුම.
Thanks to His Excellency the President Mahinda Rajapaksa, the Defense Secretary, the Armed Forces and the police, we were able to defeat the most dangerous and ruthless terrorist organization in the world in mid-2009. Today, we are a free country enjoying complete freedom. We consider it a great honor to hold this vital peace dialogue in such peaceful atmosphere. Now, I most respectfully request His Excellency the President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, Mahinda Rajapaksa, to address this most distinguished gathering.
The Venerable Professor Cheng Kung Nayakatera and the members of the Sangha, Mahasangha and respected clergy of the Hindu, Muslim, Christian faiths. Dr. Kathleen Bogue, the President of the General Conference of UNESCO, ambassadors and delegates of UNESCO. Honorable ministers and chief ministers, the governor, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, my dear children, we are gathered here today for a new step in the search for peace in our world. It is indeed a privilege to address you at this International Interreligious and Cultural Conference on Peace, As a country that has achieved peace after decades of violence and terror, Sri Lanka is keen to share the spirit of peace that you seek to spread among all people. At the outset, I wish to thank the Venerable Professor Chinkun Naikatera for taking the initiative to having a conference of this nature. Also, I sincerely thank the Thero for his valuable thoughts. Peace is the basis of sustainable development and coexistence in the world. Where there is no peace, there is mental stress, unrest, lack of satisfaction and happiness, social decline, and individual conflict. We have seen how this can lead to violent conflict and the great tragedy of war. Therefore, search for peace leads to greater interest in mental and spiritual development among people. The building of peace requires good thoughts that reach out in tolerance and understanding. In contrast, bad and cruel thoughts that cause anger and hatred can shatter the calm and harmony of peace. Today, we can see how extremely materialized and highly wasteful consumption and attitudes, theories, and policies that encourage this are taking the natural environment and the great benefits of civilization towards destruction. Therefore, there is a constant and lasting need for efforts at building peace. This is necessary because the presence of peace has always gifted the world with the great assets of civilized society and human progress. Venerable sirs, my dear friends, at this important interreligious gathering, we must remember that all religions in the world have their roots in efforts of humans to achieve good values and ethics through proper thinking. When the mind of man is turned towards evil, the results are also evil. Good and proper thinking leads to good actions and results. This confirmed in the words of the Buddha, found in the Dhammapada. Mano pubbanga ma dhamma, mano setta manomaya. All thoughts being in the mind, mind is supreme, and mind made are they. This great teaching of the Buddha is reflected in the first lines of the UNESCO Constitution that states, I quote, "Since wars being in the minds of men, it is the minds of men that defense of peace must be constructed." I unquote. This calls us to use education, science, technology, and culture as the means to achieve world peace. the basic principles of all religions is also the building of peace and coexistence among all beings. Science, technology, and communication have today made our world a universal village. It is now becoming necessary for all who share this village to live in unity, having freed themselves of the rivalry and differences of race, religion, caste, and tribe. This is why I express my great satisfaction and give my sincere blessings to this organization that has been set up in the search for world peace through the unity of all religions. I am greatly pleased that Sri Lanka, free of brutal terrorism that lasted nearly 30 years, a land with background of respect for all religions and communities, in the venue of this important international religious and cultural conference. Our country has a great cultural traditions of treating all peoples with respect and extends such respect to all religious teachings. We see that the message of peace is closely linked to religion. This is why in Sri Lanka, religion is taught from the primary gates till universities. Even in the universities they teach. In all states and private schools too. We understand the value of religion in the building of good minds that will search for the blessings of peace. On this important occasion of interreligious understanding, I extended my sincere appreciation to Venerable Professor Chinkung, Nayakatera of the leadership given, and to Dr. Kathleen Bogue, President of the General Conference of UNESCO, and all UNESCO ambassadors and delegates for the assistance provided for this conference. I also thank the Venerable Bodhagama, Shandima Nayakatero, who comes from my village, for his very special contribution, and all others who have done so much for the success of this important event. I welcome all foreign participants to Sri Lanka and wish this conference all strength and success in the search for peace through religion and culture. May you be blessed by the Noble Triple Jet. Thiruvan Saranai. Thank you.
දැන් අතිගරු ජනාධිපති මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමන් විසින් අතිගෞරවනීය මහාචාර්ය චින්කුන් නායක ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේ වෙත ගෞරවනීය උපහාර තිලින පිරිනැමීමත් අතිපූජනීය චින්කුන් නායක ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේ විසින් අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා වෙත උපහාර තිලින පිරිනැමීමත් සිදුවනවා. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට ඉතා වැදගත්කමක් දරන මේ අවස්ථාවේ මේ ගෞරවනීය තිලින හුවමාරුවද සිදුවීම විශේෂත්වයක්.
His Excellency the President, Mahinda Rajapaksa, will now present a token of appreciation to Venerable Professor Chinkung Nayakatero, and the Nayakatero in return will present a similar token of appreciation to His Excellency the President.
Can I explain briefly about 4 important gifts to the
If I may, besides the souvenirs and gift, there are actually 4 very important symbols of educations that Master Jin Kong is presenting to His Excellency the President. The first gift is the 4-category encyclopedia. This encyclopedia encompasses 1,500 volumes. It contains all the Chinese classical literatures for thousands of years. The second item is the condensed version of these 4-category encyclopedia. It's still comprised of 500 volumes. And the thirdly is the Chinese Tripitaka. It's also, Master would like to present it as a gift to the President. And lastly, and the most importantly, is the principle, the book, The Principle of Governing. Master would like to present this precious book compiled by the Emperor of Tang Dynasty 1400 years ago. This book talks about how to properly govern a nation. It offered the wisdom from the Chinese ancestors. Thank you.
ඉස්ලාම් මේ සියලුම නායකයන් බෞද්ධ ස්වාමින් වහන්සේලා ප්‍රමුඛව දැන් රන් සලුවක් පූජා කරමින් ගෞරවනීය චින්කුන් නායක ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේ ඊටම ගෞරවාදරයෙන් යුක්තව උපහාරයට ලක් කිරීමේ අවස්ථාව ලැබෙන්නේ.
Venerable Dr. Ching Kung is being honored by all religious dignitaries at this moment.
Thank you.